Well, hello my friends, Alfredo, and I'm back. Just playing around and seeing what I come up with, what develops. Not coming in here with anything in specific, but what I do is I look at pieces of wood and say, hey, what could that be? So I'm looking at this, and it's a nice piece of wood. And yes, I could make a nice round piece out of this. I could make something abstract just the way you see it here. Or I'm thinking maybe I could make a vase of some sort out of this. You're probably thinking, Al, you lost your marbles. What kind of a vase would you turn out of that? Well, that's just it. You never know unless you try. So I'm getting a rough idea what to make it symmetric. What kind of an angle do I need here? And I think that's about it right there. And this will make some other piece for the future. One thing at a time. And you know, I mean, I do have a lot of wood. I am a damn hoarder. I don't throw anything away, and it hurts me. Well, hurts me in the sense that I got way too much in the shop, and I don't even know which way to turn. Oh, you know, what am I going to do with some of these pieces? And I mean, that's always questionable. What am I going to do with all of this? So, I think that this, in its own, already makes for an interesting piece. Now, I cannot have little pieces like this jagged out and things that are not uniform per se. So technically, I should face this. And I don't know if I will. I don't know if I will. I might just pass this on the disc sander instead of Okay, well, other than making a lot of dust, that didn't do me any good. So it looks a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tenon over here on the bottom. And I will get this fairly centered and maybe round off the bottom a little bit. Who knows? As I said many times, don't put yourself in a situation that you say something and force yourself to go with it just because you said it. Just because you said it, it just means that that's the thought process you were going through, not necessarily what you're going to be creating. So I'm just going to take a little bit and round it off and see what I want to do with it as I continue. Speed is at 600 RPM. good enough as a tenon to put on the chuck. Nice grip on this to be able to do what I want to do with it. And I think I'm going to leave this square bottom. If I go around, I'm going to be taken away from this design. Although feathering it around, as long as I don't do anything drastic up here. But it depends if the points are all the same. That's the only way I can get it uniform. I will see. I think that's going to work pretty good. I'm going to actually bring it up a little bit further up to the top. Using my modified roughing gouge, Harbor Freight stuff. Frequent stops and see where the piece is going and if you still like what's happening with it. I think I will keep this little profile going down both sides of the flat part, but feather it up here just a little bit more. Now, while doing this, I have two choices. One would be to stop just before I hit the outside edges on this, which would keep the top square like this, rectangle, whatever you want to call it, but or keep on going and make the top, bring up the circle all the way up to the outside edges over here, which would in turn bring this design down. So if I keep on going with this circle, well, this is somewhat what it would look like. I have a little bit of control that I could do on this depending on how deep I go with it. Other words, how far I go in here. So if I go wide on the top and narrow this down like this towards the center, then by doing that I'm not taking out as much on the sides. So I think that's my goal. What I'm going to try is I'm going to try to shallow this up all the way up and then just bring it deep towards the middle. That way I think it will give me something that maintains this rectangular shape a little bit better and not giving me such a deep section over here on the sides. So let's see what that does. I see that I'm a little bit off-centered this way. That's why I just did that a little bit. Bringing this a little bit closer to its same diameter. No big deal, but I'll do it while I can. So to achieve that, what I want to do is bring it up from the middle, but fairly shallow, not down here. Then I'll work it towards the bottom. Pretty soon that's going to be coming out the side. That right there should have come out the side already. So yes, it's just starting to come up on the sides. So I'm just going to follow up a very shallow wide. So let's see what I do. So basically I want to bring this all the way up here somewhere, pretty close to these outside edges. Who knows, I might even interfere with it, that outside and get the top through, but I don't think so. For this type of a turning, I'm going to give this a quick sharpening. Same thing I did yesterday, just a quick pass, and that will give me a nice cut inside here. I'm applying clear satin polyurethane. Cannot buff shine this. Square edges, so you have to find something that's going to work for you, an alternative. In my case, I would have used lacquer, but I can't find my lacquer right now. Which I know I got some. And the fact that it's fast dry would have helped me. But this will work just fine. It's a quick dry. I think. It's a fast dry polyurethane that I'm applying. And I apply it fairly heavy. As long as it's not running. Then let it dry and come back and apply a couple of more coats to it. Okay, I'm going to keep this rotating at a very slow speed for a little while. Let it dry for half an hour, come back and apply a couple of more coats. Well, I'm back. This had a little bit of time. A little bit of time to dry up. And actually prior to it drying up, I decided to wipe it down a little bit with a paper towel. It was a little bit too heavy, but I like the way the finish that it has right now with one coat of polyurethane. So I'm actually going to take it off the lathe, get this bottom turned out, and call it a day. Now again, I was gotta come up with something that's going to work to finish it. And that's going to work just fine. Even this would work. So I look at what I got for jam chucks. They're not made specifically for one particular turning, but whatever I got, if it's going to do the job for me, if it fits and it hugs the piece nicely, then that's all it needs. So something like this. Try to get it centered so, of course, you don't throw your piece off. And that's easily done because I do have a center point. And there it is. Paper towel will keep it from scarfing up. I do have the center point still there. I try going at the end with a skew, the high point up. And slow it down when you get into the very end. So I'm going to take that off now with a sander, buff it up. So there it is. A vase with a little bit unexpected finish to it. The fact that it was a rectangle, one side was already shaped going inwards, and well, that's where the mind brought me to this one, to come up with something, to do something slightly away from the norm. It is, and I think it's a nice piece that can be probably displayed just about anywhere. You know, I guess I'm no different from anybody else. When you do something and you feel that it was a success, you can't help it but to feel pretty good about it. And I feel pretty good about it. It's a vase. It's got some weight to it because, you know, if I kept on going to white, it would be light, but these areas would come way down here. It would pretty much follow up the flat part. And I didn't want that. I wanted to maintain the vase fully usable, where if you can put something in here, it will stand up and not fall over to the sides. It has just the right amount of offset, where this side is slightly lower than this one. Well, I mean, you tell me. I think it's a beautiful piece that this will make a beautiful, beautiful display anywhere. Well, this is 2 turnings this weekend, so I feel good about myself. You know, I know once in a while I joke around that I lost my mojo. Or what I lost was time to come into the shop. But I love the reactions I get when I mention that, you know, on Facebook. Lots of advice. Most of it is to get out here and to turn. And that's what I've lost, is the time to come out here. So anyway, it's a nice piece. Top, the sides. Love this natural edging going through here. And the wood itself is really, really beautiful. And I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. Well, thanks again. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks.